So I think probably the sequence of events obviously still pretty accurate here. It's just that we're a little bit like this say TAD card or a peak that we sell off from that's oversold. It's really here at like 230. And then there's a brief peak that's easily missed. We should see. Oh, it's so tricky. Because we got this notable decline from a brief peak that's easily missed. And then out of that, in the last hour, there's this move to the upside from the bottom of a range to the top of a range. And then after that, a decline through multiple support levels with a high correlation here at the end of the day as well. So it's pretty tricky. My sense is that we'll probably see a pretty quick move to the lower end of RSI and then another move to the upside once we do that, followed by a move to the downside, probably taking place like starting at the close or like at the close and then moving into the post market. Interesting. So we had like this drop overnight with this move in the beginning of the day to the downside. But you can see we're not really far off from where we opened, which is very much like the change card. It's equal amounts of bulls and bears inflow and outflow. You can have like this tight range or like these big swings. Hey guys, hey Tabriz, hey AV, hey Carolyn. And sometimes this light really gets in my eyes. Hey Nanda. Hey Baby Yoda. Hey Trading Altitudes. Is Monday bullish? My sense is that it's not bullish. We've got a unicursal and a high correlation at the beginning of the day, so that usually indicates some trouble. But we also have at the end of the day like another peak that we sell off from, it appears, based on the correlation here. Also at the beginning of the day, not just the high correlator and the unicursal, but also correlation to the say TAD card. So that's all pretty bearish. We do have a low correlation in here, so we probably go from a high to a low like really early in the day. And then we may see like another high at the end of the day, or not a high per se, but like another peak or crest that will be at like oversold territory and sell off from. So a lot of price change. So we've got Ace of Swords correlations at the beginning of the day, and here at and most likely here on Monday we're going to have an important price level on at least a 1 month scale that's highlighted here at the beginning of the day near this high, and then probably again here at the end of the day after some decline midday. because there's correlations to the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Swords here throughout the day. SPC. My computer is glitching out right now. Why is it doing that? So weird. Well, we are going into what very well is like a low for the year. It's either here September or October. So it does make sense that we would be doing that, but as far as the 1 month, not so much. I'm still bullish on it. I mean, what it's doing today, this is the type of candlestick that you would see for the Virtue card. Well, more likely it would be green, a little green candlestick, but this is still very Virtue card-esque. So it seems like we're on point there, and then there's this pretty big move to the upside here. I just see it as opportunity. It hasn't changed my stance at all. Like, it's okay to be a little bit off as far as the readings when you're looking at it from like a 1 year standpoint, to be a little bit off on a 1 month when you have a good idea of what's going on the overall trend, if that makes sense. Baby Doge, I've got that coming out like this week. Hey, Randy. SPC is looking really bullish next week, Baby Yoda. Do I anticipate a decline before the market closed today? I think there's probably a decline from the close. I'll come back to that in just a moment here. I just saw AV's question. Can you please give guidance on GWSO? Interesting. I've never heard of this one. So what exactly do they do? I'm trying to look it up here, but it's a little unclear right off the bat, and I don't want to waste too much time. Obviously, they do stuff as far as like uh, climate change is concerned. So September, October. I like your questions, AV. They end up being good shorts. So the overall trend direction for GWSO, which is Global Warming Solutions, throughout the month of September and October. So we have a significant bottom that takes place in September, and then we get kind of mixed in October, but we're likely coming out of a bottom in October. There's like a sideways S formation within a channel, so we decline from resistance to key support, and then back to that resistance, and then back to that support. Usually it's on a like horizontal channel, but in cases of like a multi-day trend, it could be at an angle and it would be to the downside. But because we've got the death card for September, my sense is that we probably see lower price levels in September than we do for the Queen of Cups card in October. That's GWSO. What's the overall trend direction for SEEL? What's the overall trend direction for SEEL, which is Selos Therapeutics Inc.? Currently $1.08. The overall trend direction for September and October. For September, wow, I got the death card again for September. And then October, mixed in October, we have the change card. So significant bottom on like a multi-day scale here, maybe even on like a 1-year scale in September for SEEL. And then we get mixed in October with the sideways fluidity, equal amounts of bulls and bears, inflow and outflow. It's usually within like a tight channel, but it can sometimes be like wide swings. The point is that usually the price is about the same at the start and at the end of this energy. That's SEEL for September, October. Interesting. Sodium-based batteries. Interesting. What's the overall trend direction for September and October for the stock NNDM, which is Nano Dimensions Limited? It's an ADS. Currently $2.84 USD. So for September, out of a notable decline, there's a big move from the bottom of a range all the way to the top of a range, and that'll be a range on a multi-day scale. October, we have, wow, I got the change card for October as well. For this, we just got it for the last one, but equal amounts of bulls and bears, inflow and outflow. Generally speaking, it's pretty mixed, but you stay about the same price level throughout the energy of the change card. What's the overall trend direction for SCHW, Schwab Charles Corp, throughout the month of September and October 2023? So we have bullish energy in September where we're bumping along resistance sideways. We may break through resistance, bump along resistance sideways some more, but overall it's pretty bullish, the Valor card. And then October, wow, I keep getting the same cards for September and October. So October is going to be mixed, the sideways S formation within a channel. We decline from a key resistance and then reverse off a key support, go all the way back to that resistance, and then go back all the way back to that support. Usually it's horizontal support and resistance, but in some cases, like on a multi-day scale, it could be to the downside. What's the overall trend direction for GS, which is Goldman Sachs, throughout the months of September and October 2023? So for September, we have a significant move to the upside. This will offer opportunity to open up a short position. There's going to be a notable rally on a multi-day scale in September, offering opportunity to open up a short position. There's a key resistance in October on a multi-day scale that's highlighted, and a lot of volatility, a lot of price change around that resistance. It's a Princess of Swords, so definitive opportunity there to position oneself in both directions, utilizing the amount of price change that takes place around that resistance in October. You want to sit? Come here, buddy. Come sit. KRE. What's the overall trend direction for KRE, which is the Spider S&P Regional Banks ETF, throughout the months of September and October 2023? So I got the Strife card for September, indicating that we rally into a key resistance, and then from that resistance we should decline with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down. Usually those spikes up will meet they'll meet moving averages that are in bearish formation as resistance, usually. And then in October, out of that decline, there's a significant move higher. Even in the face of seemingly overwhelming headwinds, it still moves higher. That's the futility card. BKX. What's the overall trend direction for BKX throughout the months of September and October 2023? That's KBW Bank Index. September, we have a pop and drop. October, notable decline on a multi-day scale, offering opportunity to open up a long position, indicating that we probably go bullish in November or around that time. You're welcome, Baby Yoda. You're welcome to Braze. Do I see 445 SPY on Monday? Oh, did I skip? I feel like I skipped somebody's question. Hold on. Do I anticipate a decline before the market close? I think there's probably going to be some sort of decline here off of a high at the end of the day. This is really kind of like a cluster. What's going on here? Like we have a peak next to a brief peak, and you can see there's a peak next to a brief peak. So this is taking place, but then out of that decline, which I would have expected to be more of a decline based on the indolence card and this black bear basically right here. But out of that, there's a move from the bottom of a range to the top of a range. So either we have a decline and then a big move back to the high here. There's about 40 minutes, so it's possible that we have a decline followed by a move to the upside. But right around the close, I think we're probably declining off of the high. And the oppression cards is kind of a difficult one to determine relative open, because it could indicate a high, like the high upper end of a range or the lower end of the range. But I think it's probably going to be the upper end of a range based on. Well, that's maybe not a good assumption, but we're gonna start at the upper end of a range here. It could be a lower range that we start at the upper end of the range. It could be, So, with that said, we're at the upper end of a range here. There's the Satiety card energy first thing in the morning, as well as the unicursal and high correlation. So there's a pretty significant decline from a high to a low first thing in the morning, and then I think it's going to be kind of mixed. But eventually, we should see another high at the end of the day because we have more Satiety card energy here at the end of the day at the top of a rally. It looks like. $4.45 SPY on Monday. Let's see. I think it's going to be a really wild day, and that's why we've got the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords doesn't always mean a lot of price change in one direction. Sometimes it can be like within a range, and you go back and forth, and there's a lot of price change covered overall, like back and forth, but you stay in the same kind of area overall. It seems like that's probably what's taking place. Is there's a lot of price change. We're going to go from a decline probably into an incline here on the 28th. 445 SPY. You want to go down, buddy? Oh, you're a goof. You're a goof, You want to come back up now, huh? You're just a little goof. Let's see. I'm going to ask the cards just flat out, because it could be, but it's difficult to determine. We see 445 on Monday. I got a yes for that. SPY bounced off 100-day simple moving average twice. Probably. I mean, that's what I was talking about, is that we most likely saw this same low again, but technically we haven't bounced off of it yet. The 100-day move. Well, this is the exponential. I go by exponential moving average. This is the 100-day exponential. We didn't quite touch where we touched the low here, and it's very possible that we do that on the 28th. But if y'all recall, I was talking about how we most likely saw the bottom, and we were going to have another test of the bottom there on the 28th. It could be that I'm still off a day, Interesting. Or this might be it could be that I'm off a day, but it is also possible, and this is very Mercury retrograde-y, to not quite touch the bottom. This may very well be the test, and there isn't a lower price level. But either way, if there is a lower price level, it would be on the 28th after a decline, and then we probably rally back out of it. Hey, Robert. Hey, Karthikeyan. CVS position. When's the best time to exit in 2023? I'm not really seeing anything that stands out as a really great time. It's pretty mixed throughout the rest of the year. There's a peak in September of some kind, and then out of a decline off of that peak, there'll be a decline into October, but there's a big move out of that from the bottom of range to the top of a range, and then another peak in November that we sell off from. Hard to say. It could be next month. It could be November. UPST. Didn't I already do a UPST for September and October? Does anybody know? I feel like I already did that. UPST's overall trend direction for September and October of 2023. There'll be like a new local high in September. So based on the chart, probably not like anything near the $70 mark that we hit, but there'll be like a rally into a peak where we break through resistance and then we break back down through the same price level. It's the abundance card. It's usually a new local high of some kind. And then October, looks like there's a cash out opportunity. October, the ace of discs in a lot of cases is like a support level where you want to cash out of a position. It could be to the upside or the downside. Let's see. I'll throw down another card. Looks like it's to the upside. How does NVDA end today? Selling from a crest, selling off from a crest, it looks like. A crest or a peak. Yeah, Hermes is starting to feel better. He's now using his leg again, but he's still, like, I have to be careful. He can't use it too much, otherwise he starts limping again. In the August video, I had the 28th as a peak. Can I please clarify? Yeah, so there's a peak in the beginning of the day that we're going to sell off from. We probably open higher. My sense is that we probably open higher, but positioning yourself for that, like for like an over the weekend move to the upside is probably pretty risky. But my sense is that we do open higher and then we sell off and then move to the downside. But if we don't open higher, we sell off from a oversold or an overbought peak on a 1-day chart early in the day, and then move back to the upside towards the end of the day. Either way, it's the same kind of price level, price action throughout the day. And it looks like we have a notably lower price level and a notably higher price level than the resistance that's highlighted first thing in the morning on Monday. So you could utilize that resistance as like a mean point between a straddle and a strangle. I wouldn't put both legs on at the same time if I was going to do it. I'd wait for a good opportunity when the market is moving in the right direction to put on each leg separately, with probably a lower price level and a higher price level both in September. Looks like there's a significant decline in the pre-market from from a high. Significant decline. It's most likely the high for the day in the pre-market. You're such a happy dog. You're such a happy guy, you know. Everybody loves you. He's such a happy dog, he really is. He's always happy. Even when he has a broken leg, he still wants to play. It's pretty risky trading altitudes. Like, it's difficult to determine. But it's difficult to determine exactly where we're going to open. But I think we're probably opening to the upside. I probably wouldn't open a short position at the end of the day today. I would wait until the market, or I would wait until the morning. If I was going to do that, I would wait until the morning to do it on the 28th. But with that said, oh, there's another indication of it being a high for the day at the beginning of the day, is that the trade correlation here at the beginning of the day also correlates to the high position, or the high significator. So another, like, you could say cross-reading correlation. It's an indirect correlation, but it still indicates it's just there's no real indication of where to exit. I guess technically you could exit in the morning in the midst of the sharp decline. Matter of fact, you could probably exit the short position around 11 o'clock. After a decline through multiple support levels. It's risky. Like, it's risky. Okay, and so here's this decline that I'm talking about. End of day decline. There's about 25 minutes left. My sense is that this is the ruin card. We had this peak that we sold, this oversold peak that we, this overbought peak that we sold off from here around 230, satiety card. Then we came back, we had this brief peak that's easily missed, which is the indolence card, followed by a move from the bottom of a range to the top of a range. Right, and now we should see at the end of the day this decline through multiple support levels. If I'm wrong and we haven't seen the strength card yet, then we would probably come back to a high at the end of the day. But I think since we've already met the high again, we're probably declining off of this into the post. It's pretty mixed though, back and forth. So, you know, and keep in mind that the change card is a type of card where the price level at the beginning of the change card's time frame will be roughly the same at the end of the change card's time frame. Where did my 1 year for SPY go? The heck? There could be a pretty big move to the upside here. And it looks like I was right about this rally here, this Ace of Wands and this Princess of Wands being basically the same thing. It was right there on the edge that they kind of combined. Yeah, so there should be a notable reversal at the end of the month, a move to the upside followed by a sharp drop into a low. Yeah, and this is where it starts to diverge as far as timing. And I think that the low ends up being early in the month. It's what I was saying in a prior reading, Carolyn, that we were going to test this bottom again, but we haven't quite bounced off of the 100 day. On my chart, anyways, the 100 days here, we haven't quite bounced off of the low either. It's close, but it didn't happen. So tomorrow, or I should say Monday, is most likely where we see that. And if I'm wrong and it is today, either way, we have like a big move from the top of a range to the bottom of a range. It looks like on Monday, and then probably back. I saw that, Robert. Appreciate the support, man. Your support's really, it's really valued here, Robert. Like, much appreciation, my man. I've got the other one coming out this week as well. So what Robert's talking about, he ordered the 2024 Soul, so you should all thank Robert, because eventually 2024 Soul public version will come out. It'll probably be like a month from now, but what he's talking about is he went to the website Tarot for Traders, to our services as Esso Meta Posts, and then he scrolled down to 1 year report. And when you're signed in, I should be signed in, but I'm not. When you're signed in, you specify the year and the ticker or crypto symbol, and you get a 1 year report within 3 weeks. Man, something else. It's still on the 1 year, still on track to stay pretty much in tune with what we expect. Just my 1 month was so off. We go from lows to highs at the end of the year. That's SPC I was looking at, if everybody didn't catch that. I think we probably have a pretty notable move to the upside, guys. It's just, it's risky. It's risky to position oneself in either direction right now, I would say. But you might be missing out on a pretty big move to the upside over the weekend. It's possible. Right, we've got this Princess of Swords here at the beginning of the day highlighted. It's in line with these two thick yellow bars, which are science cards. And then over the weekend, we go into Ace of Swords energy, which is on the 1 month. Ace of Swords energy here on the 28th, and cross-reading congruencies to it here, or cross-reading correlations, excuse me, to it here early in the day and here midday. But if I was going to trade, what I would do is wait until the morning, open up a short position, close that short position around 11 o'clock after a decline through multiple support levels. I don't want to stay in it too long because it looks like there's a good possibility that we have a high again at the end of the day. It's a little tricky, but there's a good possibility of that. Bone's in the works. We started working on Bone a little while ago. What you thinking, Hermes? You want to see the Bone? You want to see the Bone reading? Look at that smile. Look at that smile. He likes to curl his tongue. I don't know if you guys can see it, but he curls his tongue when he's happy. You're a good boy, Hermes. That's incorrect, Tabriz. It's what happened from the 3rd to the 23rd. We should have a similar like mirror image of that, or not a mirror. We should have the same image of that. Mirror would be reversed. So if we have a decline, which we did here in the early part of retrograde, then we should see another decline here in the end, with kind of like this like incline or mixed behavior mid. If it's a really strong downward trend, it'll just be mixed. If it's not as strong as we think, then we might have an incline here, but I think it's probably mixed. But it's the 3rd to the 23rd and the 15th to the 30th. And that's September 15th to the 30th. What takes place in August 3rd through the 23rd. We'll see that same kind of behavior take place between the 15th and the 30th of September, based on Mercury retrograde. Here's that decline. Like I said, it looked like I was wrong for a minute, but really we were just starting the decline. So based on the fact that we still have 10 minutes, like it's possible that we do like a move to the upside and then more decline. If we hit this lower end of RSI, I think then what we'll be seeing is this strength card out of a decline and then another decline in the post market. But again, what I think is going to happen is we have this move to the upside over the weekend. It's risky, though. I would not try and trade over the weekend with Mercury retrograde upon us. It's just a risky thing to do. I could be dead ass wrong and we open to the downside because the unicursal, it indicates a really sharp drop. But when it's like at the beginning of the day over a weekend, it could indicate that the sharp drop took place over the weekend. Or we have this move to the upside and then this sharp drop. And I think that's probably what it is, a move to the upside and then this sharp drop. But it's risky. Like, you don't want to end up getting into a long position and then we have the sharp drop to the lows of the month, like first thing in the morning. Like, that would suck. So I would wait until Monday morning, open up a short position and close a short position around 11 o'clock after a decline through multiple supports. All right, guys, I guess probably ended a little early today. Um, yeah, it looks like there's still a long there. Carolyn, I already answered these questions. There's a high at the beginning, like a high here. It's not a highest high, but it'll be a highest high for like much of the month, and then we go into lows, and then we have highs at the end of the month again. That's very much what it looks like. But the higher highs probably at the beginning of the month, and then we come close to it at the end of the month and continue higher in October, most likely. Hey, Joe. Yeah, if there's a dip, it's going to be here in like the second week. Anyhow, I'm going to roll with that, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. I wasn't on yesterday, guys. Was having a pretty rough day yesterday. And I did a lot of thinking. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to continue doing these like daily predictions for free. We're going to have to figure something out because my lifestyle is not what it needs to be. I'm either going to start trading and not predicting, or we're going to have to come up with some other solution because I'm tired of not being able to pay my bills when I'm helping everybody else make money. It's extremely frustrating to have this gift and not be able to like pay all of my bills because I'm giving it away freely and not being, fairly compensated. So I haven't figured that out exactly, but I'll tell you that's part of why I wasn't on yesterday. I just didn't feel like it. I was kind of pissed. And I don't foresee that being a lesser thing if things continue the way they are. There's just not enough people following the rule of karma for me to continue doing this for free. It's not like I have this lush lifestyle and I'm spoiling myself and I don't want to do this for free anymore. No, I don't want to do it for free anymore because I am not living up like financially to the best life that I should be living. I should be in a much better situation, and I give way too much away for free, and that's why I'm not. So those of you that don't follow the rule of karma, we can thank them for what takes place in the not too distant future. Is the year lower in September or October? It's hard to determine that, especially during retrograde. It's like right around the cusp. I think it's probably in October. Yeah, I think the low's in October. Looking at October. I'm looking at the October 1 month overview reading right now. Guys, if you're interested in that, that's something that should be coming out to everybody who's got early access on the website. That should be coming out towards the end of the week, super early. And then if you want the free version, the earliest you can get the free version is going to be on our mailing list, which you get here at the bottom of our page, of our homepage. Excuse me, at the bottom of our website's homepage. You just put in your email here and subscribe. It says subscribe. Got to fix that. Subscribe. And that'll get you emailed the 1 month for the S&P 500 gets emailed to your inbox before, about 2 weeks before it comes out on the web on YouTube. So that's one way to do that. And to get the early access, our services, SM Meta Posts, click here to subscribe. $29 a month, good way to help support the channel, my friends. And with that said, I'm going to roll. Thank you so much for watching. What percent do I feel are not helping? My friends, 5% tops are people that actually follow the rule of karma. 5%. Not even. I'm being optimistic. So if you're one of those people who follows the rule of karma, bless your heart, my friend. You're one of the few people following through. on your end of the agreement. Sorry, there aren't enough people doing it for it to make sense for me to continue doing this for free. So we're gonna figure something out. Changes will probably take place at the other end of retrograde, but we'll see, because I'm definitely very frustrated. I can't have a normal life because of the lack of money in my life. I can't pay for my vet bills. I can't go and like socialize with friends because all I do is work and don't make nearly enough money. And I'm right with the stock market like 98% of the time, as long as I'm not the one trading it for whatever reason. So, you know, people should feel grateful enough that they give a little bit. It's not like we're asking for a lot. We're asking for 5%. But people don't do it anyways, either because they're lazy or because they're greedy. But, you know, karma's a bitch, and that's what happens. Things that are free disappear. Referring friends would help too, because we're definitely not growing as far as subscribers. We got like a ton of subscribers early on, paid subscribers, and then the growth there just kind of like paused. It didn't shrink, but it just kind of like paused, and we need like $2,000 more per month in paid subscribers. We're not even close to where we need to be. So for me to continue doing this for free when I need to help my family as well pay their bills is just like, it's not fair. It's not fair anymore, and I'm really getting sick of it. All right, my friends, sorry to leave you on a sour note. That's the way things are. Bless all of you out there supporting the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. You can PayPal, so that's one of the ways to follow the rule of karma, trading altitudes. Right here under resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders, we've got our PayPal link, our Cash App link, our Venmo link, and if you're international, there's Wise. This normally, I think Wise it costs money to open up this Wise app, but if you click here through the Wise link on our website, I think you can open it up for free. Oh, that would be awesome, trading altitudes. My God, that would be such a blessing. Bless your heart. All right, my friends. With that said, I'm gonna roll. Thank you so much for watching.